I think we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. And I have a fabulous guest with me today, and her name is Debbie. But do you go by Huna Kamaroha? Is that what you go by?
I'll go by either one. Debbie's faster, but if you want to call me Huna, I will answer that. That is actually my Huna essence, and that is the Lemurian light essence. So even just seeing that or hearing that, you're going to get the light codes from that. The Lemurian light codes is actually what that is. That's my essence.
Wow. So we've got some interesting things to discuss today, as well as a healing that Debbie's going to give us on our meridian systems. We've been talking backstage about many different things, including being tired now, the solar, how everything is changing solar-wise. Debbie will tell you a little bit about herself, and then we're going to move into some questions and some healing. And I do want you to know that she has been on with Valerie at Illumination Portal, and that is who recommended she come on to the show. And I'm so glad she did, because she's my lovely friend. And what Debbie's got to share with us today was also encouraged by Karen Robinson, who is a subscriber to lots of our channels and has worked with Debbie. So coming from another more beautiful part of the Pacific Northwest, we have Debbie, and all of her information is going to show up in the show notes. So if you want to reach out to her, she has MP3s you can also get. But I'll let her talk first, and we'll go from there. So welcome, Debbie.
Hi, everybody. Not too sure where we're going to start from, but backstage, Aley was saying that we've got some ascension symptoms that are going on, some exhaustion, sheer exhaustion. And as I was saying, some of us are of an older vintage. So what's happened is we are actually reaching the period of the Alkean belt, where we're getting hit with more photon energy from the central sun. And so it's not going to affect the ones that are younger that are coming in, but the older ones, especially because we've been here, and it's because we're from an older age, we were more carbon based. And we need to have the capacity to take in and absorb the photons from the new light from the central sun. What's happening is we're hitting exhaustion as we're getting the upgrades, because we're actually going to a crystalline body. So yeah, it's going to be some of.
So Juanita wants to know how young, because I believe she's in her 40s, if I'm right, Juanita.
Yeah, you're going to be lumped in with the older vintage people. Unfortunately, I'm referring to the youngest people who are going to be things like 0 to 15. Really.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you're even in your teens, your mid-teens, and like your mid-20s, you're going to still be catching some of this stuff as we're changing. So, and yeah, unfortunately, if you're a 40s, 50s, it gets a little bit harder as you get older, because basically what happened was we were birthed into a different age. And our sun and our solar system was in a different spot of the universe at that time. So, we're the lucky ones. We're actually here. We won the lotto ticket. There were a lot of souls that wanted to reincarnate to see this. And so even though it's kind of draggy and tiring and exhausting, and you're watching a roller coaster, it's kind of exciting. We were the ones that actually made it. We get to experience it.
So Randy wonders, what does crystalline look like?
Whoa. And I've actually had, I have had friends now that I've been working on behind the scenes with their energy system, and quite literally their husbands have stared at them and gone, "You're glowing." And they're like, "Oh, thank you." And it's like, no, you're literally glowing. You are emitting a glow.
Oh wow,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's beautiful energy.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. And Randy, you and your dog are attached at the hip, and so your dog is glowing too.
In some cases, I think Gretchen led her. I think Gretchen was a little. Yeah, I've worked with Randy and Gretchen's pup.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and
I'm
in
so
fact,
glad.
Randy's got one of my MP3s, so she's right on it.
Oh, Randy, you're right with it. There you go.
She hopped
Yeah.
right on that. Yeah, she hooked
Uh-huh.
onto that in a heartbeat.
Good.
But for everybody else that doesn't really know me, I to start off with my little origin stories. We won't go. Well, we can go completely back. Whenever I was born, I already was born with a really strong connection to animals, and the family that I was in could do things like telepathy, but it was very much shush, 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 shush. We don't tell anybody outside the family sort of a deal. I tend to be able to communicate with the animals silently. I did that whenever I was a little bitty kid because I was really talkative, but I was told to hush. Well, I discovered that I could still talk to the animals. I just didn't have to move my mouth, and the animals could hear me. And I did that as a toddler and a kid. So that was pretty natural. But then, as you do, you forget about these things as you're growing up because you're just trying to make your way in the world. When I was a kid, I wanted to do something with animals. I was always surrounded by dogs and cats. And so I loved horses. And as soon as I could, my parents were horrified. But as soon as I could, I took riding lessons. And then I started working at the boarding stables and did just as much as I could with the horses. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do the chiropractic and the massage for the horses. Unfortunately, it didn't exist back then. Right. So I was on course to be a veterinarian. And along the way, I did diverge from that, but I did do an awful lot of shadowing with the vets. So there's a lot of vet background, medical background that I already have. And then when I was in my 20s, I worked at a place that was called Tropical Pet. And that was tropical birds. They were raised by breeders, but they were hatched in captivity. They were all kinds of, we hand fed everything from a canary through a macaw, several different species. And at the same time, I also was involved with the fish. And I was doing, I was by myself around the corner. That was actually one of my first adult experiences with an animal being able to hear me. I had dead time, nobody was around, and there was a saltwater fish that I just simply asked it, can you hear me, without moving my mouth, and it responded, and I'm like,
oh wow.
So I'm like, no way. And I tested it. I said, okay, if you can really hear me, now keep in mind my mouth is shut as I'm doing this. I said, if you can really hear me, do something that will indicate to me that you really can hear me. And it's what was called a raccoon butterfly fish. And they have they're cute little fish. They look like a little circle, and then they've got a beak. And so what he did was he literally went up, stuck his beak out of the water, and then swam backward vertically.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Well, this little guy was just utterly delighted that he could communicate with me. And
sure.
So, yeah, I was really excited about that, but then I was horrified because my boss had actually come around the corner with my coworker, and horrified simply because with saltwater fish, if they display an unusual behavior, a lot of times that means that the fish won't make it. Usually will be gone within a day or two. And I was terrified that I had just accidentally endangered this fish. Thankfully, my coworker saw the behavior. She fell absolutely and utterly in love with the fish, who would not stop because I'm going, stop. And so, yeah, my manager was like, well, that fish is toast. We're going to have to just keep an eye on it. And my coworker's like, dang, toast, I'm taking it home. And she did. I mean, it was totally fine. They just loved each other. And then to fast forward, like I said, at the time, the shiatsu and the massage wasn't created. So, but I could recognize that I could communicate with the animals at that time. And I played around with it a little bit, but mostly I didn't do anything with it. And in 2003, I took a course that was called Shiatsu for Horse and Rider. And this is hands-on, because I've had so many people and they're like, you don't do anything for the humans. Yeah, actually I do. Because humans influence, we all influence each other's energy field, and the environment influences as well. And so I began hands-on with Shiatsu for Horse and Rider. In 2008, my heart horse Galahad returned to me, and I was working on his meridians because He accumulated some wear and tear over the years. And I had a really bad kidney stone at the time. And we just began playing. It was a game of how far away can I, and that was for me, how far away can I be from you and affect your energy field? Well, he watched it and we were both delighted with, because there was a pretty good gap between us. I could move his energy, and he reached out with his nose and just indicated about 18 inches away from me, and the kidney stone moved in my back. And I hopped on the phone with my mentor who had taught me the shiatsu, and I said, hey, the horse just did this. And he was flabbergasted. Neither of us had encountered a horse that could do that. Now, since then, I've actually encountered at least 5 different horses that can do the energy work.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not completely unheard of. It's just, it's been a lot of fun. And so I began ever so slowly working with people's animals since then. And I say animals because everybody's like, you need to pick a particular one.
No. What I love that you said, and is that we mirror each other's energy patterns if we have a companion animal, right? I mean, because you live together, that makes so much sense to me. It really, really does. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So horse and rider, horse and rider. And tell them about the lady, the horse in the UK. Mm-hmm. That was a very interesting story. Yeah.
To illustrate the energy dynamic, I was doing the shiatsu session hands-on with the pony, and I can understand biomechanically how you're going to affect. I mean, if you've got a leg or a hip or something that sits higher on the horse, you're going to affect the way that horse is going. But whenever I went to work on his neck was a complete mess. It was knotted up in places. It was just a mess. Later on, I worked on his rider, and I reached her neck. She had the exact same knots and mess. And I said, what happened here? And she said, I'd been in a car accident about a decade prior, and she had whiplash. Yeah. And her pony had picked up and mirrored the same,
it's amazing.
The exact same neck problems, exact same. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this is why we do horse and rider, because you will affect that horse's way of going, especially if you're in an athletic endeavor. But day to day, it's just really nice to get the meridians in flow and in the correct pattern in the flow. And that's what we're going to be doing in just a little bit. And like I was telling Aley backstage, is the energy that I'm going to be embedding into this, it's timeless. So anytime that you need, you can come back and rewind to the section and play that. And what the meridians are, they are rivers of energy that flow around our body. Now, if you've had acupuncture or acupressure, you'll know these exact same meridians systems. And don't worry if you haven't ever heard from them. Until I did the shiatsu for horse and rider, I had heard of chakra systems, but I had never heard of meridians. So it's all new to us. But they go in a specific pattern. They have a specific flow. And so what I'm going to be doing is I will be doing an energy session where I'm going to be going over the meridians and creating what I call a divine pattern, basically, where it is the correct pattern, is the correct flow for the meridians. And what's going to happen is your own meridian systems will begin to vibrate to that pattern that's being put out there. It'll resonate, and then your meridians will then begin to flow. And a lot of times as I'm working through here, what'll happen is, especially with our critters or with you, you're going to have several different things that can happen. You can yawn, you can sneeze, you can cough, you can get rumbles in the tummy, sometimes passing wind. And sometimes you can even have
I'll have to mute myself. Okay.
Yeah, you can have like your arms or your legs sometimes will stretch out into strange patterns. And it's just the energy that's moving out. Right. Apparently somebody has got, this is not me, group. Apparently we have a really big thing with the throat today. That's interesting.
Wow. Okay. Some people don't feel empowered to
I
speak their truth. You
I
know, that
normally
is
don't have this, so this will be
okay.
fascinating for me because as I do this, and you just saw me take a drink of water, but if you're doing any of those signs while we're doing this, I need you to take a drink of water. Obviously, your critters usually have water available, and what's going to happen? A lot of times I see them, they will just curl up and take a nap. But sometimes if they sneeze or if they cough or something, don't worry about it. It's just trapped energy that's going out of your body. And the water thing is simply you don't want coffee, you don't want milk, you don't want tea. You need to have water because what happens is as we encounter things in our lives, we begin to stuff things into our bodies and it becomes trapped. And so with this, it's actually dumping into your bloodstream. And with the water, you'll be able to flush it right out.
Oh, okay. Well, that was my message this morning anyway, because partially being exhausted from the solar stuff and the crystalline energy, I know I haven't been drinking enough water. I do know that. So that's wonderful. Important. Yes, it is. Very important.
Yeah. But since everybody's hooking in here already, I thought what I would do is I would start off. That's interesting. Normally I do a grounding exercise for people. Would you prefer to do a grounding exercise, or I'm hearing a Lemurian harmonizing exercise? Do you have a preference?
Anybody have a preference? Do you want to be, do you need grounding today, or would you, what is the other one for? Is that just helping us to?
The Lemurian, the Lemurian codes that I would be speaking brings us together into one space. And what it is light codes, light language from planet Matea.
Okay.
It is higher. So I'm going to warn you because I have done this once before. I'm like, Randy went to sleep. So if it conks you out, I am sorry. That's simply your conscious mind needed to be taken offline for a while. You don't need to be consciously hearing that. But yeah, it may make you fall asleep. So
that's what I'm getting. Everybody wants that one. But you guys, if I fall asleep, Debbie's gonna poke you.
Wakey.
Oh, yes, Seascape. Everybody's been really tired. I'm exhausted. So yes. So if this should help, and I'm going to mute because if I'm going to have gas or anything like that, everybody doesn't need to hear it because I'm not Donald Trump.
No. Shush. We're going to actually run an extra activation on that because I'm serious. No polarity, people. Everybody's like, but I've got my favorite. I don't care what your favorite is. The second, and the reason why I'm coaching on this is because every one of us has been manipulated. I don't mean a little bit. I mean, we have been manipulated for
all
decades.
our lives. All our lives.
So if you've got anything that creates a division, a team, I prefer red. I prefer purple. I want green. I want yellow. I don't care what it is. The second that you try to pick a side, you have fallen into duality. Oh, no. We don't want to go down.
We want unity.
We need to go up. So we have to stay focused on that. And you have to stay diligent. And the reason why you have to stay diligent, you didn't lose. You're going to have to do this 1,000,000 times a day. Self-included. I don't care how long you've been on this ascension process because we are so inundated right now with manipulations. So
we are. Well, we have been our whole lives with advertising and other things. So yes, absolutely.
And it's a lot of it is subliminal because I've had people who are like, "What?"
Yes, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
You would not. You're saturated with it. You're floating in it. Yeah. So well, we'll start off with What I think I'm going to do is I will do the Huna light codes first, the Lemurian light codes first, to harmonize us. And then afterwards, I'll go ahead and do a grounding exercise. And then for all of us, it's not just our little critters, I will go ahead and do the MP3. But I think what I'll do is I'll start off with the Lemurian light codes first, and then we'll bring you back in and see. It's pretty short for the light codes. So if you fall asleep, it's okay. Catch the replay. Okay, here we go. Tihe mori ora mahakawatahi. It ingwa to iri to o to wana. Why you would up Iti ingwa tifinu drani tikitao wayuatapu. Iti ingwa tifaya tamatua titama wayuatapu. Tihe hori ora. There you go. So that was the harmonization. Whew, that's quite a big energy there. Okay, and so what I'm going to do next is going to be just a simple pure grounding exercise, and some of you are really, I can feel that energy moving already. So what we're going to do is go ahead and look up with your eyes, and then you can gently close your eyes over, and then just keep looking up and imagine a light coming in from above. And let that be whatever color it wants to be. Let it go ahead and reach the top of your head and bathe down through your forehead, through your face, around your ears, and your throat. We're going to let it pool a little bit around our throat. That light pouring in from above, bathing around the throat area. Good. Now we're going to let it come down into the chest and bathe around in our heart space, all around the collarbones, in your shoulders, and then let it ooze on down over your shoulders, down through your arms, through the elbows, forearms, all around the wrists, and out through your fingertips. Now back in your chest, same color from above, the same light, that same energy bathing into your heart space. Okay, I'm going to let that go into, I can feel some people have some nooks and crannies in their heart space. Sometimes there's little spaces, little cavities that are in between our lungs and behind the heart. There it goes, great. Let that light go ahead and bathe all the area around your heart and your lungs, fill up all that space in the cavities, all the little nooks and crannies, perfect. And now it's going to cascade down into your diaphragm, into your tummy area, and let it go ahead and swish and swirl all through your tummy area. A lot of times we hold a lot of trapped emotions in our tummies. So just let it swirl through that, and then go down into the hip area, bathing the hip area. Sometimes we don't want to go forward in life. We've been told we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough, is what I'm hearing. Let it bathe in the hip area because of that old conditioning. This is going to wash all of that away. There's no reason to listen to any of that. That's old programming. Extra nice, extra strong, good. Now we're going to go down into the legs, down into your knees. Let it bathe through your calves, your ankles, bathe through your feet, and we're going to ground that into Mother Earth. All the way up from above, all the way down through you into Mother Earth. Now keep that light connection going. Now Mother Earth is going to do something fun for you. She's going to bring up an energy from her, and it's going to be another light that's coming up. Let it be whatever color it wants to be, and it's going to come up, bubbling up through your feet, through your ankles, your calves, coming up through your knees, your thighs, your hips, your tummy, up into your heart space. Now the two lights are actually going to meet in your heart space and form a bubble. Good. Now let that bubble go ahead and expand all the way around your body. Some people will have it out about 3 feet around their body. If you want it a little bit bigger, if you want it around 10 feet around your body, anything is good. You can have it even bigger if you feel like you need it, or closer in where you'll feel it, where it's comfortable. Now what you can do with this bubble, especially if you are sensitive to energy, if you're empathic, you can reset this bubble at any point in your day and then set the intent that only your highest good for energy will come through that bubble. And you can do that as an energy protection as you're going into spaces with other people. It's really helpful if you're going to the grocery store or you're running into the post office. Just sit in your car for a few minutes and just imagine both of these lights coming from above and coming up from below, meet in the center of your chest, and then form the bubble, and then set your intent. You guys feel way better than we did whenever we first started. Okay, we're going to give you a little bit of a pause. You like that, huh? Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Good, good. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be reaching out and I'm going to be doing the meridian work for the shiatsu. Now, if you are sensitive to energy, you might actually feel me touching the back of your neck or along your back, or sometimes people can feel it on their face or their limbs or whatever. It's just me working through the meridians. It can feel pretty weird though, which is why I'm giving you the heads up. It is a right-brained activity for me, so I'm actually going to go silent for this. And everybody's meridians are going to be worked at the same time as I'm doing this. So I will go quiet and I will see you on the other side for this. Okay, I'm at the halfway point. So you're working on your right-hand side now. Okay, now I've got some specific requests from Puppy, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of extra energy on the liver, spleen. So if you hear some burping or some erping, I'm just kind of doing some extra support work here. These are the detox centers that I'm working on right quick. Yeah, okay, that's good. No allergies today. Okay, great. Okay, everybody, we're going to ground that energy into Mother Earth. And come on back in when you're ready. And if you've done any yawning, burping, stretching, sneezing, passing wind, be sure to grab yourself some water. And we can take questions now.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I feel my third eye is about this big, and I'm just feeling like I'm floating. So, wow, a lot. I could feel the heart. I could feel it, the massaging, and oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
I was a little surprised. I'm very happy that we did the extra for the grounding. Some people really had some empty void spaces, especially in the heart chest area. And I get it.
I agree. Yeah, I do. And oh, your shoulders relax for the first time in a while. Well, that's awesome hypnicity. That makes a huge difference in our lives. Wow.
Stress fading away.
Randy's tingling off the left crown, cleared her sinuses. Yes, I felt my sinuses clear as well. I did. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. And you got, Cheryl, you felt it on your neck. Oh, everybody, thank you. Thank you for letting us know what it is that you experienced. And just because you may or may not have had the same experience, it doesn't, you're still working on. You were still working.
Absolutely. That's the other thing, because I've had people and they're like, but I didn't feel anything. It's okay. Actually, the energy is doing exactly what they need to do. Aww. Hi, Frank. You're doing fun.
Hi, Frank. That's so adorable.
Wonderful. That's so sweet. That's wonderful. Yeah, a lot of times in the background, I will have animals run up and they literally thank me. So it's always nice to hear the feedback too.
And we have a lot of bird people in this group. We have people, we really do. And some of them actually come on with like, there's a lady, Linda de Gonzalez. I don't know if she's here, but she has her bird on her shoulder when she does her show. So it's wonderful.
But yeah, I was just trying to reassure, even if you didn't feel anything, it's okay.
Right.
Your body is experiencing exactly what it needed to. And if you feel dizzy at all or lightheaded, always imagine grounding into Mother Earth. If you need to, go outside and hug a tree or just put your feet in dirt. Epsom salt baths are sometimes helpful. A lot of it just depends on if there was energy that needed to go out quickly.
She says her cats were listening while they were sleeping. She has several cats. Yeah, that's awesome. My caramel wouldn't move, but you were buzzing, Randy. Yeah, I think that's what happened to me as well.
It doesn't happen very frequently, but sometimes I have animals that will take the energy and they will get really hyper, and sometimes people will get that buzz too. And the reason why is because as I balance the meridians and some of the other things, the energy leaking off or the energy that was trapped in those spots gets returned to you. So you suddenly have newfound energy.
Well, I feel more energetic than I have in a while, so I'm just going to enjoy this. And everybody, yes, this is a timeless thing that she has done. So I'll try to find the exact bookmark time and put it up for you so that you can go directly to it if you want to hear it again. And wow, Sue says she's struggling not to hate people. She wonders if she's being Sue, we're all being manipulated, honey. All of us.
Yeah, I'm going to say that if you're looking at a page or a video, or you're listening to something on the radio, if you feel fear or you feel guilt or shame or the hatred, shut it off, and then go out into nature. Take a hike, go for an Epsom salt bath, because whatever that is, you've got to close the page. Literally go up and close whatever it is on your computer. You're absolutely, if you're suddenly hitting that hate or the fear, you're manipulated.
Okay.
Not to get woo about it, but what's happening is there are mechanisms that are put into place when they do the hate. When you put off the hate, the fear, the doubt, the shame, they feed all that energy.
I know. Yeah, I believe that.
Energy.
I do. I
Just
believe
wipe
there's
them
like hooks. It's like hooks on you or something. Yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
feels like that, whenever
Feels
it's like,
icky.
"Ugh,
Yeah.
it's a tick. Gross. Get out of here." Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So Juanita says, what do I do when my dog can see spirit and gets upset by what he sees? Once in a while, he wants to get away from
Sure.
what he sees, and I try to comfort him, but it doesn't really help.
No. No. Juanita, what you're going to need to do in that case, if it is in your home, get bundles of sage. You'll be able to find that at most natural food stores. Any place that sells like crystals and things, you
Mhm.
can find bundles of sage. Do not have to burn it. We'll reiterate this.
Oh,
No
okay.
smudging needed. Not. What you can do is you buy a lot of those bundles, place them in the room, or you can place them over the top of wherever his bed is, tuck it in. The only thing that I'm going to caveat that with is when you get the bundles of sage, a lot of times they're tied with like string or yarn. Remove that because you don't want the pet accidentally eating that or getting tangled up in that. But the sage itself will be safe for them. It will work like a sponge. That's why I'm saying, yes, I know Native American Indians smudged and they use the smoke, but I have found that you do not need to do that. That will act like a sponge and it will absorb the negative energies in that space. The thing that you can do as well, that very first grounding exercise that I did, where it began, Tihe Mori Ora Mahakawa Tahi It Ingwa. Replay that in that space. And you can, I don't know if you can put that on a loop or not, but you can replay that many, many times over. That will help you also collapse that energy that you're seeing. I'm going to be working towards getting some of these tools in place because some of what your dog can see, and it is horrific what they can see, and that's why they're afraid. But the sage will absorb what's going on. Sometimes because we are in certain areas and ghosts exist, demons exist. And this helps to collapse those stories. This helps to get those things either moved into the light, don't play with them, don't engage. At the most, if you want to, what you can do is, because they're another one that will feed off your energy. And so you can certainly set the sage in your living room or wherever it is that he is really upset. And watch his reaction, because what's going to happen is over time, those will absorb the energies, and it should slow that down.
Okay,
if
that's good to know. Yeah,
it can take time. And then if it seems like it was calmer, quieter, and suddenly they've come back in or something, throw away. You don't have to burn it. You can literally just chuck it in the trash can and get a new bundle and put it in.
That's true. Yeah, it's like when you put out some baking soda for the smell of something in your fridge, after 3 months, throw it out and put a new one in. It doesn't cost that much, and it's absorbing that. So that's awesome.
I've got bundles that I put in this place when we first moved in. I mean, there's some of the bundles are still going strong 11 years later, but there were other bundles that I had to replace within 3 months because they were just in that area. And
in the area that was, wow.
You'll sense it. Either you will sense it or your pet will tell you, hey, things are coming through.
Randy, you're so funny. She loves feeling this way. I won't ground this beautiful energy. Then you're going to be an airhead. You're going to be an airhead. Yeah.
Randy, you're so funny. Just channeling it straight from the central sun.
So beautiful Sydney is in this picture, if you can see, and Sydney has dementia. Yeah, and she wonders if there's any way she can reduce her anxiety when she becomes disoriented.
Does Sydney have like a favorite blankie or something? The main thing with dementia is I'm hearing add a little bit, not a ton, but add a little bit more fat into her diet. And I'm hearing blankie. Dogs, the last thing to go with our mental faculties actually is our smells. So if you've got a smell or something that is soothing for her that she might have in her basket, that you might be able to help her calm down whenever she's getting into an anxiety position. that might be the way to go forward with that. And also the shiatsu session that we just did, you can go back and replay that for Sydney. That will help her to reground into her body. And if there are energy distortions around her that's leading to the dementia, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm actually hearing liver. But that's just it. That's that liver energy that popped in there. So you can replay that for her to help her become more connected into her body. A lot of times I find with the dementia, it can be that they're starting to disassociate from their body.
Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, we love Sydney here. Yeah, I think that would be very good to help Sydney. So Teresa has a cat named Minnie, and it always asks to look in our closet.
I'm going to warn you. Actually, it's not just spirits that come and go. Closets are portals.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's so cool.
It might be a spirit. It depends on how the cat is interacting with your closet. If they're happy with whatever is in there, it could be the spirit from something that's passed over. That's like say a prior pet or family member coming back to visit. If they're terrified, again, throw bundles of sage into that puppy.
So Teresa, has your cat done this all along, or has your cat done it more after your daughter passed? Because she just recently lost her daughter. And I'm just wondering if that's
might be coming in. Yeah. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. A lot of times after pets and people have passed, especially in the first week, oh, that's tough. I'm going to cry. I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. This isn't my energy. Wow. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. They're going to be here. You're not going to hold them back. She's just making sure that you're safe and that you're loved and that you know that she's okay. She's right there on the other side. It sucks that we can't hug and hold them. I am so sorry, honey. But they're always right with us and they will never leave. We're going to ground that one. Whew, that one's rough. I'm so sorry.
Maybe your dad told your daughter to go into the closet. Yeah. Oh, Teresa, I got the goosebumps.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to bring you any more misery or anything, but but for her too, because it's painful. I know.
It is tough. Yeah. And so if you're concerned that she's not actually going into the light, and if your dad is around, you can always make that connection. Let her know you're going to be okay. Yeah. The connection is always there. And it's more important for her to go to the other side where the light is, because a lot of times whenever we've been down here too long, we need to go back to recharge our soul. Our soul needs to bathe. The records that we have collected from down here need to be offloaded. And so it's important for them not to get stuck in a loop down here. Sometimes it will take, there it goes. Sometimes it will take a little bit longer before they feel reassured that it's okay for them to go over. But you can help them by imagining a light, a really bright white light coming from above. Sometimes it looks like a staircase, but sometimes it's just like a big pathway. And you can encourage them to go up into the light. A lot of times, older people will come back to help the younger ones go back up.
Yeah.
Yep. That's tough.
It is tough. Much love to you, Teresa Ford.
Big hugs. Big hugs. Yeah. But there's every chance that your closet is, if it hasn't done that before, there's every chance that it's acting as a portal, a gateway.
Right. Hypnicity has a couple of 10-month-old strong will.
Exercise. And I'm going to say for you, actually, obedience training are going to, you've got them. And you need to know this is the worst period that they're going to be in for their entire lives, usually from about the time that they hit about 8 months old until they're about 18 months old. It's the teen phase, and any mother of a teenager will tell you that it's really challenging. I don't care. I don't care if it's a critter or not. But you have 2-3 breeds that thrive on a job, and they thrive on activity. And so what you need to do is walkies, 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 but you also need to be doing obedience training. These pups absolutely adore some sort of agility training, like obstacles. Start with first basic training. And look around. A lot of times you'll find groups, sometimes your local PetSmart or your local AKC will have obedience training class. Yeah, that's just it. See, they're going to need to wear them out, and good luck with that, because those are really high endurance breeds. Now, for the short term thing, what I've found is the light coats that I did, hi sweetheart, and the breed, they'll help to kind of conk them out, but nothing really beats doing the obedience training, because what's going to happen with the obedience training is not only are you going to be actively working with them, they're going to be in a position where you're automatically the alpha, and you've got to be taught, not with treats. You need to be taught. They can have a treat later on as a positive reinforcement, but you need to be put into places where you're the alpha. And right now is the point where they are going to challenge that alpha position the most. And the easiest way, the gentlest way to reinforce your pack position is to do the obedience training and run. I hope you like running a lot.
She's also got an older lab that because she lost a dog and she replaced with two brand new puppies, but she still has the older lab there with her too. So, oh, thanks everybody. This dog is never this completely floppy, and I call it floppy excited. Yeah.
Never that chill.
She's amazed. You want to say hello?
Oh,
she's old. She's an old girl. She's got a snaggle tooth. And her
you're the Shih Tzu. Hi, sweetheart.
This is Caramel. Yeah, this is Caramel. And I rescued her from she used to be a breeding dog forever and ever. And yeah.
Oh, aren't you so sweet? Well, that's great though. I mean, everybody's like, oh, but they used to breed. And I'm like, yeah, but how many babies did you just, how many babies did you have? How many families did you just light up their homes?
No, that's right. That's right. And she just absolutely adores me, like she's been with me for a long time, because she's 12 now.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh, what a good one. Poor girl. Oh, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Wonderful.
Can you say hello? Can you say hello? She says, I'm usually more awake. I think that meditation did a good job. I'm going to put the dogs in here and put it on a loop.
Actually, you can play that. I really encourage people to use this at least once a day. I know it's excessive, but if you're going to do it right before bedtime, that helps to people to get started with the hina stuff, and then do the grounding, and then listen through, and then go to sleep with really good energy. You'll get a much better night's sleep.
Yeah.
Or you can do it in the morning routine. Get your balance for the day. Yeah.
So let's see, Erin. I'm not sure if she can do that from a distance, but I want you to. You can. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. Yeah, and the grounding exercise that we had earlier, the one where I was telling you to imagine the light coming from above, you're going to really want to open that imaginary light up all through your hips and your legs and your knees. Actually, I'm hearing back it up and do it from your heart space, blasting it down through your tummy. You've got a lot of stored emotion in your heart. So I'll just work with it right here for you. But a lot of, if you have like a hip, knee, foot aches and pains, a lot of that is you're being blocked from moving forward in life. And let's go ahead and just get that energy going. Okay, there it goes. That's pretty potent. So I'm going to leave that there. And you can ground that into Mother Earth. And again, I'm hearing if anybody's dizzy, if that really made you dizzy, like, oh my goodness, I just got a huge amount of energy hit me. Imagine that going through your feet like roots into Mother Earth to ground that energy in so that you feel more anchored and grounded. There you go.
That's great. And Erin, if you get a chance, if you were, I don't know if you were here earlier when Debbie did a session, but you can go back and listen to it, and it's always good to listen to.
For you, I'd really listen to the grounding exercise.
Okay.
The original Huna light language, and then the grounding exercise.
Okay.
That's my kitty growl at new people because new people can be scary.
Oh. You know, they say about dogs, if a dog doesn't like you, that's no good. But I don't know about cats. You mentioned that dogs ground us, but cats expand us, right?
Yes.
Cosmic cat.
Cosmic kitties, and the dogs I find will work for our lower chakra systems and keep us grounded to Mother Earth. And then with the kitties, I call them cosmic kitties because a lot of times they come into our lives and they will be for the ascension. They will be helping us with our upper chakra.
Okay.
So, like I said, new people are scary. I get her. And how can I help her to be more comfortable with other people? I would say if it's a situation where you can control it, where you've got a friend who is a nice, earthy type friend, where they move slow, they are gentle, they don't, you meet some people and their energy system is fast and they're moving. That's not helpful. You want someone that's going to automatically be calm and grounded and can help her to not feel intimidated. And I'm hearing in my space. I'm constantly hearing in my space. So it could be that your little girl just really appreciates her space only. Hang on a second. Let me see if we can. She's not too sure about the animals, but the people really bug her. What you can do is when they come over, if you know that they're going to be coming over, make it a point to let her know someone's coming. And if you've got a second bedroom where you can put her in with her things, where she can have some quiet music and just be in there away from the people, that would probably be your best solution to let her get used to the idea. But it sounds silly, but the morning, if you know that they're coming over and can prepare ahead of time, the morning that they're going to show up, just sit down with her and literally say, hi, my friend's going to be showing up later today. I'm going to have you go in the bedroom. You're going to have your things. You're going to have your munchies. You're going to have your bed. You're going to have your pillow. You're going to have your, fan on, something for a noise for the background, music, something calming, soothing, so that you're not interfered with. And then later on you can, but if you actually prepare her that the people are going to be coming in. Now, I don't know if it's a situation where you have someone coming in that needs to be introduced to your kitty, but even that can be done very slowly. And I would recommend with her especially to go slowly, especially if they're going to be more in her space. If they're just visitors, I would really set her up in a second bedroom. And I would just simply prepare her. And in that way, it's like, no, I got company coming, honey. You don't need to be mixing and mingling with people.
There you go. I mean, I think you're bringing up something very important for all of us to realize, and that is talk to your animals. Talk to your animals and bring them into the loop. I know some people go, you tell your animal that you're going out for a while and you'll be back. And I'm like, yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It helps them.
Yep. Well, you want to share this? Right before the light I saw coming down from above was ick, yellow, and green, but as it traveled to my heart, it changed to royal blue. The light from Mother Earth up to my feet was vivid flame pink. Oh, how beautiful, Sue. That's a great share.
Sometimes whenever, like that with the ick yellow, sometimes we can actually have a rejection to some of the colors. Like I used to absolutely, no offense, I used to absolutely hate the color pink whenever I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
so if I had seen a pink, it would have been, gross. That's disgusting. Get it away from me.
Well, it's the same way with orange. I never liked orange, and now I love orange.
And now, what you're going to find is it's just a frequency color that's coming
Right.
in. And so that can be a color that your energy system was actually needing. And it looks like it actually hit your heart, got what your heart needed in your heart chakra, then changed the frequency color to a different color. Royal blue. I see. Blue is my color. I love blues and yellows and greens.
Yeah, me too.
And I've gotten to really like the color pink now.
Well, and the cool thing is that if we focus on the unity and not the duality, then we don't make decisions anymore from duality. In other words, well, I like this more than this. No, just enjoy the rainbow, I guess is the best way.
There's another thing that comes up too, because I'm hearing to say this as well. Sometimes we'll pick up energies whenever we're out and about in our day, and it's literally that. It's not just ick, I don't like that color. It's ick, I don't like that feeling. And that could be something that you just picked up too. Ick, I am recoiling from the energy that's coming from above. And it could be that it was an intimidation thing. Now, if we're picking up something from our day, you can just imagine it an icky color and then fling it off of you. But you might go ahead and sit in your meditation space with your heart and know that you are safe to receive the light from above.
Wow.
You can make that your intention before you allow the light to come in from above, that it is safe and it's not going to hurt you any.
Oh, wow. The other thing I want to mention is that I've been told only one other time before when meditating to roll my eyes up. And it makes a difference. This is the second time it's made a huge difference in my experience. So I just want to say that.
And that's one of the techniques. What it does is it actually puts you into a theta state when your eyes, when you're looking up. That's why whenever you're a little kid, they're so impressionable. That's actually where some of our programming comes from. Is when you're little, because everybody is higher than you, so you're automatically looking up. But yes,
you don't even realize it, do you? Yeah, you don't realize the effect.
It automatically puts you into a theta state is what that does.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so we got one more here because we're almost at the hour, and this has been fabulous. And I'm gonna I think you're coming on Val's channel when next week or this week? Tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow.
Valerie.
All right, good. So if anybody, wants another Debbie fix, you can go over there. And of course, we'd love you to come back here again if you're able to do so. But this is Sonia. She says, can you tell if any of my previous animals are here around me?
I can't really say if it is or not. I keep hearing, and this is probably part of what you need to do. You need to feel around. Now I'm going to say this. You need to be prepared whenever you start to open up to this, because I don't know where you are in your psychic or your intuition journey. When you ask to feel them or sense them around you, you may actually open up your crown chakra quite a bit. And so you can actually ask for your previous animals to show you themselves. Okay. And caveat that with saying that they are only here for a visit. Don't allow them to linger. And I'm hearing also you need to make sure to have, protection in place. I don't care if it's a crystal. Kyanites are great. Obsidian stones are great. I'm hearing trickster energy may come in. I don't know where you're at on your ascension path. You need to be aware if you are just starting out, because the 2D things really like to play trickster stuff when you are first starting out. It is helpful to know and remember what your beloved ones felt like. Don't let them linger. Don't stay in that old trap of being with them too much. They really shouldn't be there distracting you from them. I'm hearing the mission. They are trying to open your, which one? They're showing like 2 or 3 different chakras at once here.
Oh.
Crown chakra mostly, and potentially third eye, but I'm getting mostly crown chakra. So it could be that if you allow that to happen, you could be having a lot of ascension symptoms and a lot of freeing up of blockages. You may actually start seeing things. And I'm gonna give a quick caveat, since we've got a whole bunch of people here that have had spirits and whatnot. You can do the bubble technique to ground. You can also keep scents around you that are higher frequency, like the flowers. Roses are very high frequency. Always reach for a rose if you can. The other thing that you can do is, if something is coming in and you can hear them and you don't want to hear them, fixate on something with your eyes. Trace the corner of an edge of a book, or if you're looking at your computer screen, begin looking at something, usually lower down if you can, and just simply begin tracing that. Fixate on it, because what's going to happen is it will begin to change your frequency in your brain, and you will begin to shift your mental process. It will pull you back out and up, and it will allow you to be more protected so that that thing cannot attach. Sometimes it will come in and you think, like I've had this happen overnight sometimes, where I have been asleep and I have thought that I have had one of my pets come into the bed with me. It's pretty frequent. But then I know what they feel like. I know what they felt like. I know what they feel like. And I can suddenly feel it change. And at that point, you've got no business being anywhere near me. And boy, I shoot their little butts right off into the light. They go off like a sizzle sound. That's like, nope. No.
Time to go. Time to go. Yeah. Teresa wonders if it would help if she was if Heavenly was in the shower at the time. But
if that's where some people are water babies. And so they'll actually have their psychic abilities open up more fast if they're in the water. Other people will find that if they're walking in nature, hugging a tree, spending time gardening. What about Gretchen and the snakes? You need to make sure that she doesn't encounter the snakes.
Yeah, keep her away from the snakes.
Hey, if you guys are out and about in the wild. Oh, you mean if you're taking your nature walks? Yeah. Just be aware. You know, you can live. You can. It's just be aware of where they're going to be at, and don't walk your butt into a potential.
Well, of course, she's in the desert right now, so the desert.
I learned was pick up a pocket of rocks, and you throw them at the bushes and the shrubs that are on the path in front of you. To clear out the snakes. And I don't mean a little gentle, I'm talking a lot of them puppies.
Well, that's the answer. Does she know how to leave them alone? She's asking, I think, if Gretchen does.
The problem with Gretchen is, she's got an attitude.
Why do I know this? Her, just like her mama.
She won't listen to you. So what you might want to do is not say boo to her about it. And if you need to, keep her butt on a leash and literally in a snake infested area, you really do need to have a leash on your pup. You need to know what's going on around you. Sometimes kitty cats are excellent for that, because they can go ahead of you on the path and will actually either alert you to the fact that there's a snake nearby, or can in some cases chase the snake off.
Okay. There you
Dogs,
go, Randy.
Unfortunately, will dive in, do battle, snicker snack, and will eat the munchie, but you don't need Gretchen in there playing with rattlesnakes. Trust me.
You are a rebel, Randy, and I love you for it. There you go. Your dog has to be like you. Anyway.
Oh, she's a
All
character,
right.
let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I bet. Oh,
He's
my
in the booth.
goodness. Well, everybody, Debbie does have her own website, and it's in the show notes. She also does private readings, and she has the MP3s that she sells on there as well. But you, like she said, you can always come back. Also on Valerie's channel, Illumination Portal, she's done several shows there. I'm sure she's had several grounding exercises and other things there. So check it out. And she will be on with Valerie at Illumination Portal tomorrow. What time, Pacific time and Eastern time is it? You know,
Pacific time, it's going to be 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Pacific. Okay. All right. So check it out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Debbie. This has been wonderful. Thank you. Hold on. Take care. Bye, everybody.